Live reports on Southwest Washington High School football come from reporter Bryan Levesque. Check out GSHLFootball.com for more. The Fan Postgame Scoreboard Show continues on ESPN Sports Radio 1080 The Fan.
And our thanks to Bryan Levesque of GSHLFootball.com, not only for joining us all season long, but for helping out our crew tonight, getting prepared for Camas and Rainier Beach. But at the end of the day, there really wasn't much to prepare for. It was all paper makers from the get-go. Was this, I got to think, though, without Logan Grindy, still important for them to come out and take care of business with their new quarterback?
Yeah, definitely, Jason. One of the things with Camas for most of the season, they haven't had the toughest schedule to get to that 9-0 mark, but they've gotten up early on just about everybody and then seem to have kind of drifted mentally and allowed teams to stay in the game. So especially today, playing a team that with Logan you expected a 56-0 type of win, but with Tony Gennaro coming in there to equal those same results and to play a complete game is huge as they look to play possibly number 4 ranked Juanita next week here at home.
Now, a couple of the other games, I know the tough one, probably the premier one tonight, Union traveling up to Bothell, really made their life difficult on themselves when they didn't take care of business against Skyview last week. Are they disappointed that things didn't go better for them? They're not even going to get into the playoff brackets after their loss.
Yeah, I talked with Coach Pyland on the phone a little bit ago here. Our game's been over for quite a while thanks to a running clock rule up here in Washington. But, they played pretty close. They got down 21-7 early, which is never a good thing to a team that's perennially in the Final Four of the 4A level there. And they said, their running game had been going pretty good with Zach Browning, but he said when they got behind, they had to start throwing the ball a little more, which isn't their strong point. They did cut the lead to 28-21 there in the fourth quarter, but they gave up a couple more big touchdown passes, which he said was just kind of the theme of the day. They play really well and then give up the big play in the passing game. So a little disappointing. Right now it's a little disappointing thinking that, you spotted Skyview 17 points at home and still only lose by 4. And it's like, man, if we don't give up those points, we're at home. We don't have to play Bothell. He said, if you come looking in the beginning of the season, though, and seeing that, this group, a fourth-year school that lost all of their starters, not many people expected Union to be where they were except for maybe the Union people. So from that aspect, coming in the beginning of the year to look at that and say, hey, we're 7-3, finished second in the league, it's pretty good to keep the program going. They obviously had higher hopes, and it's pretty tough. But, overall, good year. The thing is, a lot of young talent still on that Union squad, so expect them to be right back there with Skyview again next year.
Maybe a bit of a surprise, the 2A game tonight, number 8 Centralia coming down to Mark Morris, and Mark Morris pulling out a close victory.
Yeah, definitely huge surprise in that one. As the Monarchs finished the season, they did win the 2A league by beating R.A. Long last week, 22-11 in the Civil War there. But they had struggled. They'd played WF West, a team who finished second in that Evergreen Conference up there. Kept it close, but ended up losing 42-18. A couple weeks left in the season. R.A. Long, a team that Mark Morris played evenly, had lost 48-14 to this Centralia team. And so a lot of people, they were ranked 8th in state, had only 2 losses to WF West and Tumwater, who are also top 5 teams. And then they had the big stud back, Zach Baldwin, there from Centralia. Things were not looking good early on as he broke off a 61-yard touchdown run on the second play of the game, then also punched one in from 2 yards to go up 12-0. Nobody could kick an extra point in this game. They got up 12-0, but Mark Morris hung in there, got touchdowns from Jeremy Wolf and Willie Fujioka in the third to tie it up at 12-12. Centralia did go ahead in the fourth quarter, 18-12, but Mark Morris persevered, went down. Willie Fujioka punched one in for his second touchdown. In the game, they went for 2, got up 20-18, and then, but with 2 minutes to go, Centralia drove down the field, looked as though they were at least going to get in field goal range, had a 4th and 6, and a guy wide open who they play on natural grass up there in Longview. Guy wide open, slipped and fell down. Mark Morris gets the win and advances into the 16-team playoff next week. where they will play Foster in Longview. So this is the third year in a row that Mark Morris has won the Week 10 game and advanced into the playoffs. So good job for them, Coach Perkins in the Monarch program.
The other final, as expected, undefeated and fourth-ranked Kentwood at the 4A level, handling Heritage 57-14.
Yeah, this one, we thought maybe Heritage could put up a little bit more, but as they had when they played some of the elite talent like the Union and the Camas, for just whatever reason, they just couldn't put games together in that one. So we, like you said, kind of expected in that game. A little disappointed to give up 50, but they did go 3-7. They played a lot of tough games, so it's kind of tough for the Timberwolf program there. I mean, they easily could have had a 500 record there with a couple close losses, but it is what it is, and they'll be prepared again next year, try to be one of those top three teams and give it another go.
4 GSHL teams in action tomorrow at the 4A level. Skyview gets a home game. They're 10th ranked. Todd Beamer with a record of 4-5. Any reason to expect the Storm not to cruise in this one?
I don't think so. Todd Beamer has some size, and I'm sure they're going to come down and give it their all. I don't expect the same game as we saw here tonight, but it wouldn't shock me if we see something similar to that. I mean, Skyview is definitely clicking right now with McDonough, 5 full games as a quarterback. Parker Henry did get shut down by Union's run defense, but I highly doubt that Todd Beamer, with a 4-5 record coming out of that South Puget Sound League, is going to have that run defense that Union had. I expect him to get some running yards. Ellis Henderson, Riley Henderson, and the big thing for them, they don't necessarily need it this week, but their number 2 receiver, Carl Graves, is back. He got injured a couple weeks ago with the high ankle sprain that's been out. He's looking to be back for this game, which is it's good if they get him a little bit. And next week, as they possibly play Auburn again at home, they'll be really good. But they should roll.
2 3A schools on the road. Mountain View is at Timberline, and Kelso is at Seattle Prep. Is there a chance for these schools to go on the road and pick up victories?
Yeah, there's definitely a big chance for both of them. Kelso coming out as our number 3 team, and they are going to play a Seattle Prep team that the only thing we really know about Seattle Prep is their game with Rainier Beach last week. But they run an option out of I formation. They're pretty disciplined. But Kelso, if they go and play like they played here against Camas, I think they have a really good shot to pull this upset. Again, seeing what Rainier Beach put on display here tonight, and being that Rainier Beach was in a pretty close game with them last week out of that Metro League, I think Union has a good shot. The team that I think has a really, really good shot would be Mountain View, who is just straight on a roll right now. I mean, they beat Columbia River 61-6 last week, and they just have Coach Matheson up there. Adam, we went to high school together a long time ago, just call him Adam, but respectfully, Coach Matheson has that wing tee. He's morphed into that by about week 3. He had them fully immersed running a nice little wing tee up there. They got P.J. Jones and Sterling Reynolds just going off. And Timberline has some speed guys, but I don't think they're going to be able to come up and put 8 or 9 guys in the box and stop Mountain View. The thing is, Mountain View, unlike last week at Columbia River, where once that guy got past the safety, they outran everybody, I think Timberline will catch them most of the time. So they'll have to break those plays multiple times on a drive to go down and score. But I think they definitely can do that. I expect them to win. I'd see them winning somewhere around 28-17, 28-21, something like that. But it'd be great if we have all 3 of our 3A teams come out. That would be really big for our league.
And, of course, the other 2A, RA Long, hosting 4th-ranked WF West. WF West, one of the top 4A programs, or 2A programs, in Washington. Does RA Long stack up? How much does the home field advantage help them?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we didn't think Mark Morris had much of a home field advantage against Centralia. Obviously, RA Long, won our league, and Centralia finished 3rd, with WF West finishing 2nd up there in the Evergreen Conference. So, I mean, it's going to be a really tough one. I don't see them coming out winning this game. I think they're going to put up a fight. But if they do, again, that would be a really big upset.
So there you have it. Bryan Levesque, GSHLFootball.com. we'll get this, in case you missed all of this or you want to kind of rehash it, we'll get the audio so he can post it over there as well. Video from the games around, and also
we will have video from that Bothell Union game as well as this Camas game here tonight. So it should be up sometime in the morning.
Well, there you go. We appreciate it as always. We're looking forward to the playoffs in Washington as well as Oregon, and looking forward to catching up with you next week. I'm assuming probably be back at Camas as well for another home playoff game.
Yeah, they're going to play on Saturday next week, so whoever's got a Friday game, it's a good thing we have Friday, Saturday games, so get a lot of busy weekends coming up, hopefully.
All righty. Well, Bryan, we appreciate it very much. Thanks again for all your help with our crew tonight as well, getting us prepped for the game.
It's my pleasure, Jason.
All righty. Bryan Levesque, GSHL Football.com.